And then I'm going to share my screen. All right. So, all right, you guys. I know that like the ones of you that are on here right now are not brand new coaches, but this may be your first coaching opportunity. I mean, new coaching kickoff call. I'm a hot mess, but I just want to welcome you. We are so excited that you are here. If you're here, you made a decision to be a health and fitness coach, to start your own business, to do something like Haley and I were just talking about, to do something just really great with the time that you have to commit to this. And I just know that, like, I remember being a brand new coach, and after I had signed up and I was like looking through all the information and I saw all the trainings and all that stuff, I was like, oh my gosh, like, what have I done? Like, it was really overwhelming. And it was just being on calls like this and being a part of a training and hearing from my coach every week that really helped me stay on track and really just lean into this and learn and apply things slowly. Okay. So I personally was that girl. I love the programs. I got great results with the 21-day fix. I was a very unlikely person to be a successful coach, if I'm being completely honest. Like, I was not a go-getter. I was not somebody who posted on social media a whole lot. Like, I describe myself as an introverted extrovert. I can walk into a social situation, but I don't go a whole lot deeper than that with people. But God has definitely done a lot in me, through me, and just in this business. And we are excited. Like, we are excited that you are here, and our goal is to train you and to teach you how to do the business and take what we give you and make it your own, so that you can go out there and make that impact as well. And so you probably have already seen that there's a lot of information. You get an email from Beachbody when you sign up as a coach. You get an email from your upline coach, and then we've thrown you into this new coach training. So we want to kind of direct you and show you where to start, where to spend the most time and attention in your business, because you will be overwhelmed, but just soak it up. Soak up the information. Plug into these calls. We're going to have these calls at this time every Wednesday. It's 11:30 Central Standard, 12:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And just know that you're not alone. Like, yes, this is a self-paced course, but these calls are where we are going to connect with you, where we're going to talk you off the ledge, where we're going to like answer your questions and help you work through this first month of your business. Okay. Well, first, let me go through this. This is your first 30. This is if you go into your Coach Online office, which you should be able to do now. If not, talk to your upline. This is the first 30. If you go into your Coach Online office and go to training, and then how to get started, I think it says, this is what you'll find. What I am encouraging all of my new coaches, and you encourage yours if you're a leader here, go to the first 30 hours and print off, or maybe it's the first 30 days, and it's your 30-day business plan. And print that off, fill it out, send it to your upline coach, and that's going to be a really good guide for you to actually know what to do in your first month as a coach. Go through that 30-day plan, share it with your coach, schedule a one-on-one call, go over it with them, and that's going to give you some very clear direction. Okay. The next thing we always encourage brand new coaches to do is to set up your EFT management. That's how you're going to get paid. We get paid every Thursday as coaches, and it is delayed by a week, but if you don't set up your direct deposit, they're going to pay you with the paper check, and that will take even longer, and they take like a little percentage out of it. So make sure that's one of the first things that you do, because we do want you to get paid, and to get paid in a timely manner. Let's see, the next thing, some important information. You guys can look through this, but you should be aware of it through the training that you have already. But we're going to talk about how to sign people up with ShareCart. You need to know what your coach ID and your username is. Plug into the FAQs, plug into this Facebook New Coach University, and that's where you're going to find seriously everything that you need to know as a coach in order to succeed at this. And I'm just going to show you in our new coach training how to find all of that information. If you go to the New Coach University, it's set up into units, and it will automatically take you to the units for this course. And anything that you have a question about, launching your business, how to promote a challenge group, what to say when people want more information, what about challenge packs, understanding Instagram, it's all there. And so like all the training is going to point you in the right direction in order to help you succeed. But the foundation of what we do as coaches is you have got to make your own health and fitness a priority. The foundation of being a successful coach starts with you. And that means like going into your Beachbody On Demand, finding a workout program that you can start, that you can complete, start to finish, going in there, printing off the calendar, the workout calendar, the nutrition plan, and making a plan for you so that you can have a testimony, so that you can have an experience, so that you can show people, hey, this works for me, and I know that it will work for you, all right? Our goal isn't really to convince people to buy Shakeology or do a workout program. Our goal is to influence them with our story and to say, hey, do you want to do this with me, right? Because guys, there's so many multi-level marketing, network marketing companies out there where it's just a product. We are proof of our products, and that is the story that we want to tell. And so you want to share what is working for you. Every single day, you see me and Megan get up and share about our workouts. We share in our stories about our shake. We share about our results. We share about our challengers. We're constantly telling a story that we are experiencing ourselves, right? So we're not just pushing a product. Our goal is to serve people every single day through social media, is to serve them through telling our story, by sharing value. And you do want to, when talking about social media, where are you going to start sharing? That's really important. You know, for me personally, I primarily built my business on Facebook for the first few years, and then Instagram got a lot bigger. I would say now, especially, Instagram is a lot easier to use, and you can grow it faster than you can Facebook. Facebook's kind of gotten a little odd, but you know, pick one place that you're really going to focus this first month. Instagram is fun. You can do stories. You can do stories on Facebook too, but I think that the reach is greater on Instagram. But find a place that you're going to start building your business. For me personally, I do it on both. And I have for most of the time, but I really, in the beginning, it was Facebook. That was really where I launched my business. And you're just going to start inspiring and adding value. Whatever platform that you are on, you definitely want to go ahead and make that public. All right. So if your Instagram account right now is private or your Facebook account is private, you've got to go make that public, because say, for example, if you are part of a mom group, or if you're part of or there's people that you work with, you're going places, seeing people, and they see that you're changing, your body's changing, you're eating healthier, you're getting results. What's the first thing when people start to say, hey, have you noticed Rachel lately? Like, she's really started to change how she eats, and she's losing weight, and she looks really fit. And she's talking about these workout programs. Well, if somebody hears about that and they go to look for you, which is what they're going to do. That's what we all do, right? We hear about somebody, we go to social media. I mean, like, we sit around at family gatherings and somebody says, have you seen so-and-so lately? And we all get on our phones and we're looking for them. So if your account is private, nobody can find you. Nobody can find that value. Nobody can find that story. So wherever you're going to build your business, wherever you're going to start sharing, make sure that you have it set to public, okay? Let's see. So most of you guys, from what I see, I don't know Christy, but if you guys are all doing a workout program, right? So first you're going to choose your fitness program, okay? And I'm going to talk a lot about you, because yes, the business part is important, but we don't have a business if we don't start with ourselves, right? So you're going to choose your fitness program. If you have not already, definitely commit to it. Like, guys, when I say commit to it, I mean, like, print off that workout calendar, put it on. I have mine in my workout room. Like, I see it every day. I know what workout I'm supposed to do. Print it off. Follow the plan exactly. You know, I think that as coaches, in order to show people that this works, we have to do it the way that it is created. So commit to your workout program. print off your nutrition guide or your manual or whatever you have so that you have that in front of you. Set up your workout space, clear out your pantry, get out a blender, make sure you have a blender for your Shakeology. Document all of this on social media. Do stories. Say, oh my gosh, I committed to a workout plan, a nutrition plan. I've got it ready to go, and I've got to clean out my pantry. Show people what you're getting rid of. If you buy a new blender, do a story or make a post about it and say, I've got this new blender. I'm going to start really fueling my body right. And I just ask people, say, like, what's your favorite blender, or what blender should I buy? And, talk about it. Just document everything that you're doing to take care of yourself on social media. And if you become essentially, my coach called it like a reality show. You really become like a reality show, and you think people aren't going to be interested in that, but they are. And so just start documenting what you're doing and take people along on the journey with you. And now obviously, like, we are not going to encourage you to go like start taking pictures of your shake, like Shakeology, or like say I'm doing Lift 4 or I'm doing 21-day fix. You kind of want to tease it. Show people your weights, or talk about the fact that you're only working out 4 days a week, or talk about the fact that you're trying this new milkshake you're having every day for breakfast, but it's really like a bunch of tons of like vitamins and superfoods in it. You want to tease it so that you kind of you pique that interest, and people will start to ask you, hey, what are you doing? I see you're doing a weight workout, like you're doing it at home. Like, how do you know what to do? And so like you're going to tease it, and I invite people just to kind of do it with you, or take people along on that journey with you. You're going to be a challenger. You're going to take your before pictures, your before measurements. You're going to start sharing your journey every single week. You're going to take before pictures, and you don't have to wear like a bikini or underwear, but wear form-fitting clothes so that people can see the change from week to week as you progress through this program that you've committed to. Record it. Do this every week. Share like an update once a week on social media. The reason I'm telling you all this is because so many coaches come in and they just don't know what to post about. But if you're doing this for yourself, those are your posts. Those are your posts. That's your social media content. That's your proof that this works, okay? So every week you're going to tell a story. This last week went really well. I found out that following the portion containers was a lot easier. I really found out that when I tracked my food, I kept up with it better and I hit my goals. This workout was hard. I struggled with it. I had to modify. Like, give people kind of a recap and show those side-by-side pictures of your journey. Transformation Tuesday should become your norm. It doesn't matter if you have a huge transformation, if you don't have a huge transformation, if your progress is going really slow. There are so many ways to document your journey in a way that people will connect with your story. Haley, I know a lot of you guys may not know Haley, but she did a transformation yesterday, and she did not have a huge transformation. She's never had a ton of weight to lose, but she talked about her mindset. She talked about the fact that, I can't even remember what all you talked about. It was really good, but that you had tried all these different things, had all these different mindsets around food, but now you found something that works for you and that you can stick with, right? And so Transformation Tuesday is just going to be your weekly progress report. Yeah, Megan, I've never seen Megan. She probably had like 5 pounds to lose in this whole journey. But she always tells a story about, like, maybe she got something from the workout, or she learned something new about how food affects her body, or all these different things. Your transformation does not have to be I lost 100 pounds to inspire people. Most people's story is not going to be that extreme. So just tell your story. For me personally, I always I only lost like 10 pounds total, like in this whole transformation. It was a visible transformation. But now I'm pretty much stay at my goal weight. I fluctuate a few up and down a few pounds, but I talk a lot about hormones. I talk a lot about how, eating this way has changed the way that I feel, the way that I connect with my family and my husband and those around me. It's helped me to get off of cholesterol medicine, so there are so many ways that you can get used to telling your story, and it's going to change. And so you're constantly going to have a story that's going to connect with other women. All right. And don't think that people don't care. Don't think that, oh, nobody's going to connect to the fact that, like, I didn't have any weight to lose, but I feel really good about what I'm doing. There are tons of people that need to hear that. There are tons of skinny, what is it called? Skinny fat, I can't remember what it's called. Skinny, fat, skinny, I don't know. It's skinny, fat people who want to, skinny, fat. Okay. Who want to feel better. They want to feel good about the choices that they're making. They want to lead by example for their family. They don't know where to start, but they want to. And so you sharing your transformation every single week is going to inspire those people no matter where they're at. People are interested and they will relate to wherever you're at. So your number one job this week is to figure out what program you're doing if you haven't already. Print out the materials, get your meal plan ready, schedule your workouts, get your workout space ready, document it on social media, and just rock your program. Like seriously, just rock your program and commit to it. And when you do that, you are going to feel so much more confident in inviting people to do it with you. All right. And so make sure you're plugged into a challenge group. You are a challenger first and foremost, always. Like I tell my coaches that, like even when you start leading a huge challenge group, which you will, you're still a challenger. You will always log your workouts, log your shakes, check in each night and stay accountable. And you just being a participant will make you bolder in sharing your story publicly. All right. The next thing that you are going to do that we're really going to focus on this week is going to be launching your business. All right. So you are obviously a coach now, right? And that change, you're no longer just a challenger, but you are a coach now. And when you became a challenger, you unlocked the opportunity to actually influence people. You unlocked the opportunity to make an income by sharing that story that we're talking about. And so you definitely want to put your story out there. You have to tell people what you're doing. I know it can be scary. I know it can be intimidating. I know that a lot of us women first think, oh, what is so-and-so going to think of us? What are they going to think if we start posting selfies and things like that? But you just can't worry about that because you are here because you believed in something. You are here because you believed you could make an impact. You believe that you could inspire someone. And I always tell my team, I always say my story is not my own. Like my story is not mine to keep to myself. I found something that changed my life, that changed my family's life. And if I don't tell other people about it, then I am being very, very selfish, right? And so I read in a book somewhere one time too, it says, if your mouth is closed, your business is closed. So just remember that. If you stop posting, if you stop sharing, if you stop talking to people, you don't have a business. And so social media is our platform to share what is working for us. Remember, we are serving people. We are not selling. We are serving people. All right. So in the next 24 hours, your goal, your assignment, whatever you want to call it, I'm a teacher, I said assignment, is to make a coming out post that you are a coach. And it can be a lot of different things. You can say it a lot of different ways, but essentially you want to tell people where you were at before you started. For me personally, I was not heavy. I was not heavy, but I was uncomfortable. I was unsettled. I was not confident with my husband. My cholesterol was through the roof, and I knew I was going to have to get back on cholesterol medicine. I didn't want to do that because that stuff is destructive to your body. My hormones were whacked. They were all over the place. It affected how I treated my family, and I was just very uncomfortable and not confident in who I was, and definitely not confident that I was the person that God had created me to be. And so I knew that food was my problem. I knew that I could exercise all day long, but if I didn't change the way that I ate, then nothing was going to change. And so I looked for portion control. I found this program that I started doing at home. I started just eating simply clean and working out 30 minutes a day, and it changed. Like I dropped the weight that I needed to lose. I started to feel better. I started to feel more confident. And my family started to notice. Like my family started to notice that I was happier, that I was more confident, I was healthier. And so that was my story. So, and you want to talk about how did you feel? What prompted you to take action in your health and fitness? What did you want to feel? And I'm going to challenge you guys, like dig deep. Like you don't want it to be like, I just need to lose 10 pounds so I could look better in my bathing suit. That's great. And there's nothing wrong with it. But you want to connect with women on a deeper level in a way that other people can relate to you. Maybe you had a baby 2 years ago and you're still wearing maternity clothes. Maybe you're tired, you're sluggish, you don't have the energy to play with your kids. Like, how many women can relate to that part of your story? And so share your story, invite people. You have the option. You can make this like a call to action post if you want to, if you've gotten results, if you are ready to lead a challenge group with your coach or on your own, you can put that wording in there and say, you know what, like, I've gotten these great results. I believe in this, and I'm looking for 5 women to link arms with me and do this with me. And so you can put that in there. But if you're just starting and you just want to say, I just committed to this workout program and I'm going to do it and I'm going to rock it and I'm going to get results. And I'm just telling you here publicly on social media so that you can support me and encourage me and call me out if you see me go away or stop posting. But I just want to share my journey with people to follow along. All right. And so that's your coach announcement. All right. And so we've given you a couple of examples here. These are 2 different examples. I think I've got a few in here actually. But you just want to tell your story, like I said. So this is an example, one of mine and one of Megan's, I think. But we just talked about what we did, like how we started. You guys, if you follow me or Megan, you see us post this over and over, but these were our original coach announcements. Mine did include an invite to a boot camp, a challenge group, however you want to call that. And I said, you know what, I got these great results. I think back then I did actually say 21-day fix in Shakeology, but I do not encourage you to do that. Now you can just say you work out 30 minutes at home, 4 days a week, you incorporate clean eating and portion control, or, you started drinking a superfood shake. You don't even have to say that really, but just say that you started to take care of yourself and you want to help other women do the same thing. Give a call to action. I have a challenge group that starts September 17th, and I'm inviting just 5 women to link arms with me and to do this with me. Again, saying it with me, I think is a big thing, and it sounds so much less salesy. All right. And so if you want to invite people to do that, definitely put that in your call to action post. Here's another example. This is Megan's. She said, I don't have confidence. I didn't have energy. She said I was uncomfortable in my skin. That's how I felt, and I decided to start. And this is so relatable. This is so relatable. She said, I know the doubt, fear, thoughts that this will never work. But guess what? It works when you work. Okay. And then she explains that she's just been working out for 30 minutes. She's a busy mama. The nutrition plan is not anything crazy, and that she's in the best shape of her life. And she does give a call to action. Our next fitness challenge starts July 16th, and I would love to help you feel great in your skin again. And she kind of outlines what the challenge group will be, and she tells people what to do. And then this is another one. So this is a transformation. You don't have to have like a transformation to do this. That's very important. It can just be a picture of you, or it can be a picture of you and you can say work in progress or something like that. If you do have a long ways to go, it doesn't matter, guys. Like, don't fall into that trap of believing that I don't have this huge transformation, so I can't be a good coach. That is not true. What matters is that you are working on yourself. What matters is that you are committed to being the healthiest version of you that you can be, and that you are committed to sharing that journey and just putting it out there to inspire other people. And when you're inspiring people, there will be people who want to join you. Okay. So write out your coach post. If you haven't done it, you've got to do it in the next 24 hours. If you've already done it, do it again. And it doesn't have to be like your coach coming out announcement, but it can just be an invite to your next challenge group. Okay. So get in the habit of that. Read it, write it, reread it, send it to your upline, because sometimes we can get a little bit wordy and say too much. I know I did that in the beginning. So let somebody read it. Give a call to action at the end if you're ready to do that. And, or just say something like, if you see me disappear, then call me out. Like, you want to engage people with your story, and you can do that for sure. And like I said, just get used to doing this. Every Tuesday, you're going to post a transformation. All right. Some weeks it might be physical, some weeks it might be mental. 2 weeks ago I shared my transformation, and it was all about salvation. Like, it didn't even have anything to do with my my physical, it did have to do with my physical transformation, but it was more a result of like God changed me. So I, was at a place where I wanted to change the rest of me. And so, your Transformation Tuesday is something that you're going to share every single week. All right. So now I'm going to turn, does anybody have questions about that before we go? Before we move on, I'm going to let Megan pick up with how to be yourself, what you're going to start doing this next week, and then let her pick it up from there. Let me unmute you though. Okay. Can you unmute yourself? Okay.
I got it. Okay. All right. So if you notice, like, the things we're saying are likely what you've read in the first 30 and what you've read if you started going through the coach training posts since we just got started this week, but it's all the same thing. Like, there's so many coaches that are out there. What's going to make you different is you. Your story, your journey, your experience. There's a lot of people that maybe, like, you'll read them and be like, well, that sounds like mine. Or like, I was listening to National Wake Up Call from Monday, and he talked about how, if you didn't listen to it, it was a very good call, but he talked about how, like, he's a dude. Like, most people in this business are women, and most people with X and most people Y, but what made him different was him. So, like, keep in mind that, like, people that I don't know. You're going to come across people I'll never come across. So, like, don't worry about what everyone else around you is doing, and just share you. Like, that is the most important thing. Your ins, your outs. Like, I look at my time hop all the time, and I see that there was so much of my probably 2 to 3 years that always talked about my kids not sleeping. They are now 7 and 5, and they sleep a little bit more than they did when they were, 2, 3, 4. But my kids didn't sleep. Every day was like a recap of how many times I was up and down the stairs or how many night terrors we sat through. And I'd be like, but I did it anyways. So it's the consistency and showing up day in and day out. You're going to feel like you said that already. And you're going to feel like you just talked about that last week. But you'll begin to find different ways that you can share pieces of what you're doing and why you're doing it. And that's what the breadcrumbing your story means. Like, it's not always going to be, here I am on day one, and here I am on this day, and this is what I did, now come join me. Like, it's always going to have a little different piece. My Transformation Tuesday that I did last night, I pulled up my old audit manager picture that I had before I had left my corporate career. And I put a picture of me and my son at the bus stop on his first day of school. So, and I didn't think of this till after I posted it, but the picture that was taken of me and my audit manager uniform, my suit that I was wearing, was actually right when I found out I was pregnant with him. So I was like, I can actually use that again as like a Transformation Tuesday, because this is when I found out I had them. But anyways, that's besides the point. But I used that to show that I had to be her to become her. I had to take what I learned, as a corporate woman to become what I wanted to be as a, working mom. And I'm still a working mom. My uniform's just a little bit different. My days are a little bit different, but this is the way I wanted it to be. And I talk about, my journey. And I didn't leave coaching, or I didn't leave my corporate career to be a coach. So I used to think that, I didn't retire from another job to do this. So like, I can't be successful. Like, I had, my upline retired as a nurse to be a full-time coach. And one of my best friends retired as a teacher. And I used to be like, I can't do that because I was already a stay-at-home mom. But you know what? There are still people I can speak to and use my story and how I went from a corporate career woman, mom, to a stay-at-home mom, to a coach. So just know that your story and, sharing it will become easier the more you do it. If you're not sure how to put something into words, reach out to your coach. I can't tell you how many times I'll get a voice message from one of my coaches who's like, this is what I'm trying to say. And I can spit back a response in like 3.2 seconds. And they're always like, oh, but you're so good at this. Keep in mind, we've been doing this a really long time. I'm not going to say I'm always going to have an answer, but we've been doing this a really long time. So coming up with a way to say it that doesn't sound salesy, that doesn't sound like you're bragging, that doesn't sound boastful, but that gives you a way to showcase what you're working for, what you're working towards, and invite others to be part of what you're doing, is how it all comes together. Rachel talked, you can scroll down, a little bit about your daily actions. Your vital behaviors is going to be the ins and outs of all of this business. Using Instagram stories is the best way to showcase your daily habits. I put a picture of my shake on there almost every day. It's not always like, this is what I made. You know, sometimes I will just hashtag chocolate salad. Sometimes I'll just hashtag, you know, homemade mocha frap. And other times it'll be a more deliberate, like, you know, can't believe I used to think this was expensive. Now it's my favorite meal of the day. So like just different ways. I won't ever say Shakeology. I won't ever throw it out there. But sharing those things regularly are going to help people eventually be like, you're still drinking that shake. Like you still think that's the greatest thing. Maybe I should try it. Being able to showcase your results or what's going to allow people to actually see what you're talking about is true. So do the workouts, follow the meal plan, drink your shakes. When it comes to the end of it and someone says, how did you do this? You're going to be able to tell them. I met up with a girlfriend I haven't seen since Christmas over the weekend. And she said to me, your teeth look really white. What are you using? Like, did you go get them whitened? I'm like, actually, when I was at the dentist, they gave me this like new Crest toothpaste and asked me if I would try it. She's like, awesome. And she's like, I'm going to have to get it. And the next day I get a text message from her and she's at Target and she takes a picture of it. She's like, is this the same stuff that you have? Like, I'm going to get it. And I'm like, yeah, that's it. She bought it because she saw me. She trusted me. She saw the results. So she went and did it. What we're doing is the exact same thing, but instead of them going to Target to buy what we're talking about, they're coming to you. It's the only different thing. So be proof that this whole thing works. Be proud of the results that you have. Don't worry about someone being like, oh, there she went and got skinny, or oh, look at her, she's all fit. Like people will say that, and then the people who say that will come back and join you when they're ready to. Be proud of what you're doing and know that what you're doing now and these decisions, not only are they amazing for you, like you're making a difference in your future, you're also sharing it and making a difference in those who come across you. So be proud of what you're doing and make sure people know that you're loving it, because that excitement, it attracts more excitement. When you're doing, you can scroll down. When you're doing your Instagram posts, make sure you're using hashtags. This is how your stuff, your post gets seen by more people. I keep certain hashtags saved in my phone. I have different groups of them. Sometimes I'll use hashtags to be funny, like, you know, hashtag my kids don't sleep is a common one. But then I'll hashtag like work at home mommy, or, you know, a chalkboard wall, because I have a chalkboard wall in my basement. Like I'll think of other things, HIIT workout, not necessarily lift, not lift 4, HIIT workout. I know Christy's doing the 3-day refresh and we were talking about it yesterday. And she's like, what words do I use? She's like, I remember whenever you did it, you never said 3-day refresh. And I was like, great, like plant-based cleanse. So as someone who's looking for a plant-based cleanse might click on your stuff and come across your page. So think of different specific hashtags. You don't want to use the hashtag like fit mom that has 4 million uses, because it will never get seen by anybody because there's so much going through it. So think of specific things that you can share and track your stuff. Track and see when you post a funny quote, do people like it or not? Look and see what does well on your Instagram and maybe what does well on Facebook if you're using both of them. Start paying attention. Like I'm constantly analyzing my results. Like, okay, like I know if I talk about mother-daughter stuff, like if I talk about mother-daughter body image or share pictures of me and my daughter, like those do really well. I can't do it all the time, but I've noticed that when I can like pull out a heartfelt post about being a girl mom or mom of a strong-willed girl or whatever it is, those really do well for my market, honestly, more than like my boy mom posts do. So like just different things that I've noticed, things if I work out with my husband, him being in the picture does far better than me being solo. All the time, never fails. It's different. People are used to seeing me. They like to see that like my husband's on board, whatever it is. So like think about what it is that's working for you. Christy said the quotes don't do well. Then you don't do them. And I will say quotes on my Facebook page don't do nearly as well as my Instagram. Like I did one on Instagram last week. It said, I'm going to go to basic bitch hell, but I don't like pumpkin spice latte. I actually posted it like 2 or 3 years ago on my Facebook page and it came up in my time hop and I was like, well, but it skyrocketed on Instagram. Like had over like 700 likes, 100 and some odd comments on it of people who also don't like pumpkin spice latte. In hindsight, my husband was like, pumpkin spice Shakeology is coming out and you just burned yourself. But I was like, that's okay. I don't like pumpkin spice latte because of the health nutritional benefits. So I'm going to have to spin something on that here in the next couple of days. But my point was people like that did amazing. I think on my like page, it had 2 comments. 2. So like knowing that like something might do really well and like your timing matters. Like if you're working out at 9 p.m. and by the time you work out, drink your recover, have a shower, make a post, and you're posting that at like 11, no one's going to see it. Like they're just not. They're in bed. They're not looking for it right now. So make sure you're paying attention to the time of day. I know today this whole my son started school yesterday, so we're still new in this back to school routine, and like I just didn't have enough time this morning to get my post up. So I used a quote on Instagram, but I was trying to put a picture up on my Facebook page, and I didn't get to it till like 10:15. We got like nothing because it was a bad time. Like 10:15, nobody's sitting on their phone. In hindsight, I should have waited and posted it at like lunch or like not at all. So just be aware of that stuff. It's all practice. It's all going to come down to like figuring out what works for you. Like early morning or 8, 9 p.m. are the times for me. Those are going to be the times for most people. But keep in mind, like I know like last year when I was posting more frequently, I would add a 3rd post around bus stop time, around 3 p.m. because I know a lot of moms, which is my main market, are waiting for their kids to get home from school or picking them up from the bus stop or picking in the car pickup line. So that used to be another time that I would like periodically put posts up because people are on their phones waiting. So think about those things and just realize that it's a practice game. What might work well this week may suck next week. Like it just might happen. It is part of social media, but just keep going is the key on that. All right, so here we go. Month 1, you're going to start your next boot camp. I know my boot camp starting on next Monday. I don't know, Rachel, when's yours starting?
The 17th.
Okay, so in the next week or 2, I always like I started my prep week this week, and I actually did it. Mine was off because I did that summer sale, and I ended up with a good bit of challenge packs. So I was like, I need to get these people into a group like ASAP. So I started my group a little earlier than I usually do. Normally I would be more on the 17th. I usually do the 3rd Monday, but I did it earlier just because I had people who were like ready for a place to start. So my whole week this week is focused on getting people in. And then I'm doing a free group next week. So like if people end up like ghosting me, not answering, expressing interest, falling off, just be like, come join my free group. Because all these people who I'm inviting to join a challenge group, I can tell them Sunday night that if they're not going to join the challenge group, like switch that invite over into a free group. But keep a list of everything. I like to keep what's called a 10 in play. Those are like the 10 people who are like telling me I'm going to order or they're super interested. And those are the people I'm trying to convert. Like I'm always talking to people. People are asking questions, but I like to have at least 10 people who seem serious. Of those 10 people, maybe 5 will commit. 1 will get pregnant. 1 will have, like something catastrophic happen where, like their car will break down and then they don't have any more money. Like there's always like things come up. Like you will learn that you'll hear the most crazy excuses from people. Just keep going. When I did that summer sale, I had over 10 people who were old customers of mine that came back. So if you have someone that says they're super interested and they back off, they'll come back. If you have someone that signs up and then you never hear from them again because they got cold feet and they never opened their Shakeology and never logged on a bot and they never did anything, know that they'll come back. As long as you keep going and sharing every single day that like people know I'm here. When someone tells me they're not interested, I'm like, that's fine. I'll be here when you are. Just let me know when you're ready. And like you just keep showing up, tracking what you're doing, inviting them to join you, and stay in contact with your coach as well. Rachel mentioned that 30-day business plan that you would have got via email. It's in the back office. Get that filled out. Talk to, like I used to talk to my coach all the time. I always tell my coaches, don't ever be afraid to ask me a question because I was the coach that asked so many questions, but I know that's what helped me learn. If I was too afraid to ask questions, I would have been getting frustrated trying to figure it all out on my own. And you're part of an amazing team. So you don't have to do it on your own. Like you're blessed to have so many, not just your upline and being part of mine or Rachel's team, but we have so many other resources. So, do a Google search, check the FAQs, but if you don't know how to answer something or respond to someone's question, just ask. The more you ask, the more you learn, and the more you're going to figure that out. And then here, just treat it like a business. Like when I realized that there was incredible potential for this business, I treated it like a business. I was no longer saying when people be like, oh, like, what do you do? Like, are you just a stay-at-home mom? I'd be like, no, actually, I'm a coach now. And I would tell people, and it took me a while to go from, yeah, no, I don't do anything, to actually being really proud to say that I make a difference in the lives of other people. So when you start to treat it like a business, it's going to pay like a business, and you're going to see the business pay off. So set your business hours. They might be different every day. You might set them and never stick to them. But here's the deal. You have to start. Make a plan. Set your business hours. My husband's constantly telling me, he's like, all right, like Colt's back in school, like set those hours that you can have a plan. Because when you have a plan, you're going to take action and you're going to get way more done. Our Coach University is not here for us. We've been through it. We've been through it a lot, and we actually don't need this information anymore. We're here to help you. This is the basic information that we can give to you. If we were to sit down with you and be like, this is what you need to do over the next month to launch your business, we put it all out there for you. There's videos, there's text, there's examples, there's conversations. It is a lot of information, but it's all there for you to learn from. So go through it. If you want to go through, a week in a day, go for it. If it's going to take you a little bit longer and you have to go back through it next week or next month, go back through it next month. The information's here. Get on the weekly calls, participate, and you'll realize that like this stuff works as long as you're taking action. And you've got to get results. Like you cannot, it's like, honestly, I get really annoyed when I go see a doctor who's extremely overweight. And I'm like, you're a doctor. I really feel like you have the tools in your mind as you see sick patients all day to apply those to your own life, which you never know anyone's story. But like, that's like how I think of it. I'm like, how is this person like morbidly obese and they're telling me, or not me, but they're going to go tell somebody that they need to start dieting and exercising. Like you want to be able to walk the walk and talk the talk. So like be that walking billboard. Be proud when someone's like, your arms are phenomenal. Be like, thanks, I've been working out. Like, do you want to know, and then they're going to be like, oh, look, what are you doing? And then you can tell them. Promote, like that's the best way to build your business, is just be that proof that when you stand there, people know that you're happier, your smile's different, your clothes fit better, your face is brighter because you're happy inside and out. Social media 101, I feel like we went through the profile picture already. You want to make sure your picture is of you. If you have kids and it shows kids, that's okay. But make it you. Like you want your profile picture to be you. You want to make sure that when you view it from a phone, you can see what it looks like. Same thing with your cover photo. You don't have to have a fancy cover photo made, but if you put a cover photo up there, make sure it's not like cropping off heads or, like make it visually appealing. You can use apps like Canva or PicMonkey to make it the right size so that it looks right. Whether you put a collage up of pictures of you, they don't have to be professional. You just need really good lighting. In fact, like middle of the day as the light shining in through your kitchen window is probably the best lighting that you can get. I work out in my basement, so I do use a stand-up light. It just has like a photography light. I think there's links in the coach training with all of this stuff, but I have a selfie stick. My selfie stick broke and I was like lost without it. Like not a selfie stick, a tripod. That's how I get my pictures, so that you don't want to have like your arm up all the time taking your pictures. Like you want it to be, and this was on a call, one of the Dream Team calls. She's like, make it look like a professional photographer's following you around. And like that stuck with me. Like I always take pictures where I'm like, occasional selfie's fine, but like prop the phone up, get yourself a $20 tripod from Amazon. It'll be here in 2 days, and take the pictures in front of great lighting so they can see you. Make, today's pictures maybe close up of your face, tomorrow's a full body, the next day maybe you mirror 2 images. Like get creative with it. And you being able to use like the tripod so you can get different angles. Like one time I angled my tripod down and I sat on the floor and like looked up at it. Like somebody like outsider looking in would think you're crazy, but it doesn't matter because those people don't pay your bills. So you just keep doing you. I did it the other day. My husband was taking pictures of me outside. I'm like, nope, I don't like those. Let's take more. And like neighbors are driving by. I'm like, they probably think I'm crazy, but they know exactly what I'm using them for. So totally fine. All right. 4 vitals, where it's all we ever talk about. Invite. You're inviting people to come join you, being proof the product works. I don't think we can say that anymore. Personal development. The first book that we always recommend you start with is Compound Effect by Darren Hardy. Another great one is Go Pro by Eric Warr. I actually just reread that in August. It was a great refresher. But those are 2 super easy books. They're both on Audible. Today I went to the hairdresser. I went and got my hair cut, and then went to Costco. And in the time of me driving to get my hair cut and going to Costco, and then shopping in Costco because I kept my earbuds in, and then driving home, I listened to like the National Wake Up Call, 2 call recordings from this week. Like I never sit in the car and just jam out to music. Like that's me being efficient, making the best use of my time with my business. So, and like, I mean, if my kids are in the car, sure. But like if I'm in there by myself, like that 10, 15-minute drive to get my son every day from school, like I'm listening to a book, calls, whatever it is. Your personal development is going to help you keep that positive mindset, keep your energy up from the day that you sign up to where you're 4.5 years in and you're still super passionate about what you're doing, because you're always fueling your mind with positive personal and professional development. And we have way more books to recommend beyond that, but starting out, Compound Effect and GoPro are 2 that I really recommend. And recognize, I talk about being proud of what you're doing. Don't be afraid to shout yourself out, to recognize something you've done, or recognize when you've got your first person to join you. Like shout out that you've got your sister, your mom, your cousin, your neighbor that's joining in your next challenge group, and you can't wait to help them the same way your coach helped you. Like those little pieces just help bring to light like what we're doing is a real thing. Getting to Emerald is always the first goal we set within your first 30 days. Emerald sounds fun and exciting, and it is, but it's not complicated. It's 2 people to come join your team, and it's going to unlock your compensation plan. You'll start earning cycle bonuses. I had a coach who fell out of Emerald and just came back, and because her volume continued to grow, she's getting $250 tomorrow when she gets paid because of being an Emerald coach. Like that's an amazing thing. It's your first recognition. I still remember that shout out my coach made for me getting to Emerald. I thought it was the best thing ever. Like I was like, I've been home as a mom for a year and nobody's recognized me for doing anything. I helped like signed up my first 2, and my husband and my sister-in-law, and like my mother-in-law and my stepmom, like, and I was recognized for Emerald. I was like, this is like the greatest company ever. And then they like sent me a little bracelet and a little card in the mail. I still have all that stuff because I thought it was so cool. So that's like the first thing that you want to shoot for in this first month. Your first 2 people, like start thinking of that now, like as you're listening to this, who could be 2 people who you could be like, could you join me? Like my sister is still active military. So whenever she signed up, I straight up said, look, you can be a coach cheaper than I can because you get this military discount program thing. You say how awful the food is on the ship. Like, why don't you try this? Like straight up asked her, I'm starting this new business. Why don't you try this? She was like, okay. My mother-in-law needed it from a weight perspective. I was like, I really think this would benefit you. Here's why. And it took her watching me. It took us being together. I finished my round of 21 Day Fix, hopped on a plane for Texas the next day to go visit my husband's family. And I took those shakes with me every day. And she watched me every morning when she'd be like, do you want pancakes? Do you want waffles? I'm like, nope, I'm good. And by the day we were leaving, she's like, here's my credit card. Can you sign me up? I need to try this. So like, that was one of my other coaches. And it just comes from asking them. Like I sent out a text to my family before I even was public on social media about it. Like, here's my results from 21 days. This is what I did. 30 minutes at home, shakes every day. Would you want to try this with me? Some will and some won't, but you have to ask them or they're not going to have a clue in the world that they have something or you have something to offer to them. The business activity tracker, this is in the back office. There's a link in the new coach training. Whether you use this one or you kind of develop your own as you go, this one's created for you. It's what you're doing every day. It's the vital behaviors that we've been talking about, expanding your network, making friends on social media. These are the things, like, I love checking off box. Like, I'll make a list and write something down just to check it off. Like, you can make a list that says work out, drink my shake, and then check it off because it just helps you see that progress. And that's what the business activity tracker is designed to do, to just allow you to track your progress and make sure you're doing what you said you're going to do. Our calls, the National Wake Up Call, I mentioned the one I listened to on the playback today. They're on the TBB 411 Facebook page. You can still call into them, but they're streamed live on the TBB 411 page. So honestly, I rarely make a live call. They're always a playback for me, whether it's on the podcast app, dial in, or listening to it on the Facebook playback. It's always something I'll squeeze in while, driving or, sitting working, and I'll listen to them. But they're amazing stories. I, to this day, maybe have missed 5 in 4.5 years because I always find them super helpful. They're reassuring that this business works. I always love hearing, the success stories of the person who was the dropout of college or the dropout of high school or whatever it is, who went on to defeat something incredible to get to where they are now. And you'll hear those stories, and chances are you'll be able to think of someone in your life that you could, if it's not you, someone else who probably needs to hear that. So those are every week. After our new coach training, you'll be part of the team page. I know I have a small team page for my personally sponsored coaches that is more of, it's small, but my big team page I don't add people into until after the first 30 days, as well as like the bigger dream team pages, because it can be super overwhelming. And I know like you're excited and eager to learn, but at the same time, it's like you don't want to get too much that like it bogs you down and you completely shut down. Our new coach training calls are going to be at this time, 12:30 Eastern, 11:30 Central Time. There are also, as you get into the dream team or other, like I've been doing some last month, and I did a different group in August, and we had team calls every month or every Monday. But there's also usually in our bigger dream team call, Monday night team calls as well. So there's plenty of information, plenty of ways for you to stay plugged in and stay accountable and continue to learn and grow. You just want to make sure you're always staying in a challenge group, that you're talking about the business. And if you launch your business and nobody says a word, do it again. Write a new post, put a different picture up, and just keep talking about it. It's just your first or second month. If you hit Success Club and then continue for the next 2 months, for a total of 3 months, you'll be eligible for the Success Starter program. And that will, the biggest thing is it's going to get you a free ticket to Summit. I don't think I would have went on the Success Club, or I would have went to Summit as a brand new coach when I went. I had signed up in March. I hit Success Club March, April, May, and I earned that ticket to Summit. And I kind of looked at it like a coupon that I didn't want to waste. I was like, I've got this $300 value ticket. Like, I have to use it. So I went to Summit, and that was the turning point for my business. I don't know that I would have spent the $300 at the time just because money was super tight. But looking back now, like, I will tell you, Summit was hands down the best thing for me to really open my eyes and realize that this business was something I could do, that every successful coach was no different than me, and that there was so much incredible opportunity here. So just as we're coming to the end here, with your first month, you want to make sure you're hitting Success Club. That means you're getting 3 people with either Shakeology or Challenge Pack to get started. 2 of those, if you enroll 2 as coaches, whether they're your family members that are coaches like mine were, or you actually have someone who's like, I want to do what you do. Like, this sounds amazing. I would love a tribe of amazing supportive women. I need the accountability, so I'm going to be a coach too. Whatever it is, those first 2 coaches are going to help you hit that first rank advancement of Emerald. Invite them into the same challenge group that you're doing and get started on that personal development. Fuel your mind the same way you're fueling your body with your Shakeology and your body with those workouts, and it really will all come together. So, I think this is this last one. So last thing, just sit here as we've kind of given you a lot of information here over the last hour and make a list. 20 people who you could invite. Maybe they're your college sorority sisters. Maybe they're your cousins. Maybe they're your neighbors. Maybe it's your parents, your in-laws, your siblings, whatever they are, who could benefit. And think of it not just as the person who needs to lose weight. My coach never invited me. I actually reached out to her, and when she would tell people, I never looked at you as someone who needed to lose weight. I was 120 pounds when I joined my challenge group. I didn't do it because I needed to lose a lot of weight. I mean, I did. Like, in my mind, I was trying to get back to pre-baby weight, but you wouldn't have looked at me and thought that I needed to be in a challenge group or that I needed to be exercising. You'd be like, oh, she probably already does, or she's fine, but I needed the community. And that was the biggest thing for me, was spend all day with a newborn and a 2-year-old. So to me, having this breakup in the day, even if they were crawling all over me, like those team calls and team chats were huge for me. So don't discount anybody who is going to, be on your list, because, my coach will tell you, she never asked me. And I mean, I've gone on to be a 3-time, going on 4, elite coach. And it came from the consistency of me seeing everything they did and knowing that I could do it too. Anything else you want to say, Rachel?
I don't think so. I just, one of the biggest things that, I don't know if somebody said this or if I said, I can't remember, just don't decide for people by not asking them. Like, that stuck with me very early on. Like, don't make a decision for someone else. Just like Megan said, like, her coach may have never done it, but if Megan hadn't reached out. But people need this. If we invite them, we'll never know. If we don't invite them, we'll never know. So Yeah, just get busy and get bold. Okay. All right, you guys, that's it. We'll be back next week, and we're going to talk like posting and pictures and apps and all that good stuff, and help you kind of grow in the social media aspect and the inviting aspect. So we'll see you guys next week. Okay.
Thank you.
Very good. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.